Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast. My name is Amir. Got a special guest joining me today. You guys obviously know who this is. We got Ernest from Miami Heat Talk. What's up,
Good.
Ernest?
What's up, my guy? Living the dream.
Awesome, man. I'm happy to have you on. So, Ernest and I, we have a new show or series that we're going to be hosting together. So, we're calling it the Heat Check. So, you know us from the Miami Heat Roundtable. And so, we wanted to get together, create our own show. And episode 1, we just filmed. You can check that out on Ernest's channel. So, Miami Heat Talk. So, if you're not subscribed to his channel, go there. You'll find episode 1. We talked about the different playoff permutations in the East and where the Miami Heat can fall. Right now, it's Saturday, so the Miami Heat just played the Raptors last night. We play them tomorrow, and the Miami Heat are still there's still an opportunity to be a 5th seed, which is insane, and avoid the play-in. So we talked about that. Go check it out at Ernest's channel. I'll put the link in the description. But for today's episode, now we know the Miami Heat are at least guaranteed to be in the play-in. So I want to talk about the Miami Heat's potential. It's been an up and down, inconsistent season, but I've done episodes in the past. Are the Heat contenders or pretenders? But I did that like a month ago. So now I want to talk to Ernest. How far do you think this Miami Heat team can go? So let's say we win the play-in versus whoever, and I don't know who we're going to play in the first round, but how far do you think this team can go? What's our ceiling, Ernest, for this season? Are we
Okay,
pretenders or are we contenders?
let's look. Let's be honest. All right. I know people like to think that I'm biased, deluded. Look at the shirt. Look at the room. Duh. So here's what I'm gonna say. I understand that the realistic and pessimistic people are gonna say that the Heat ceiling is losing in the first round, or maybe they can make it to the Eastern Finals, shock the world, and they'll lose to Boston. I don't think that. I think in a 7-game series in the East, I think we can beat anyone, Boston included. I know Boston loaded up. I get it. They have Porzingis. They have Holiday. It's going to be tough to beat. But we've had 37 different starting lineups this year, and we are only 5 games down from the 2nd seed. I know we're 0-10 against the West. We'll get there in a moment. But what I'm trying to say is in the East, I'm fully confident. I think the Heat can make another trip to the NBA Finals. Now, the real question is, after you hurdle that juggernaut that's called Boston, if you can climb that mountain and succeed, can we win in the NBA Finals against teams like possibly Oklahoma, the Clippers, the Denver Nuggets, the Minnesota Timberwolves if they make it? In a 7-game series with Eric Spoelstra as the coach, who I feel can strategically plan around a team, we can win. And I know, Amir, people are going to say, there's no way that he can beat Denver. I get it. But I remember that last game against Denver. Miami didn't have Tyler Hero. Miami kept it close. And Miami had something different this time that we didn't have last year against Denver. We started Nikola Jovic out there. And when there were times we put him on the Joker. And it worked. And what we were missing last year against Denver was scoring. Hello, we just picked up Terry Rozier and Tyler Hero can be healthy. Tyler wasn't healthy last year, bro. We couldn't crack 100 points. We needed Tyler in the finals. Had we had Tyler Hero, am I saying we would have won last year? I don't know. But I feel all we need is a fully healthy roster. Call me deluded. Call me whatever you want. Call me crazy. I get it. But I'm confident. I know this team can do it. It's just as far as Jimmy takes us, man.
Yep. I've been called delusional too and too optimistic. But I'm like, it's hard for me not to give this team the benefit of the doubt. And again, I don't even like reflecting on last season because it's what have you done for me lately? And what we've done lately is not the same as what we did last year, because even last year, with all the struggles and all the million clutch games and the injuries and all that, we played way better against the top teams. We were 14-15 against teams that were 500 and above. And right now we're like 10 and 20 something versus those teams, right? And like we haven't beaten any of the top 5 West teams. That's an issue that we have to deal with later, right? If you get to the finals. So haven't beat the Suns, haven't beat the Thunder, haven't beat the Nuggets, Clippers, you name those teams in the top teams, Timberwolves, we haven't beat them. But I think we're a contender, and I think it's possible. Kevin Garnett, baby. Anything's possible, right? So, but I still think it's going to be hard, and I think it's unlikely, but it's not impossible. So, like, I'm still having hope. I don't have as much confidence as some folks do, but again, it's possible, especially in the East. Like, look at the East. How many teams are you really nervous for? Maybe three, and the third team is the Sixers now, in my opinion, outside of the top current two, which are the Celtics and the Bucks. But again, it's mainly the Celtics for a few reasons, in my opinion. One, the Bucks, we for some reason match up well with them at times, and we have that history and that story of beating them. And also, the same guy keeps getting hurt magically somehow, and I don't know if he's gonna miss any playoff games, but we know Giannis is hurt right now, so that's big. And we know Middleton's been in and out. That's also big. The other thing is the Sixers. I think they are now that third team that we have to worry about, especially because Embiid's back. If Embiid wasn't back, I wouldn't worry about them. I think Maxi's a great player, young, talented, and we could have handled him, but they're getting healthy in the right time. So that's one team. I think I'm more worried about the Sixers than the Bucks. What about you? Are you more worried about the Sixers, or would you be more worried about the Bucks at this point?
Between those two, I mean, I think Philly poses the harder matchup for us right now. Even if Giannis was fully healthy,
That's what I mean. Yeah,
I still say I prefer Milwaukee. I think we just match up better against them,
me
and
too.
they don't have Drew Holiday anymore. Like, bro, I said it when the Celtics made the trade for Porzingis, when they traded Marcus Smart. I was like, that was a terrible trade because they hadn't traded for Holiday yet. So I'm like, I didn't like that. You traded away your guy, like your defensive leader. Then they got Holiday, and it's like Ethan Spolnick said recently. When Miami saw that trade from Milwaukee to Dame, they were like, oh, they just got worse. Because I know they're the second seed. I know offensively they're great, but defensively they're not what they were. So I think we match up better against them. Philly, they're getting hot at the right time, and it's like I mentioned earlier, it's momentum. Playoffs, a lot of time, man, is a lot about momentum, but it's also about health, bro. A lot of these games this year that we lost, a lot of these games that we lost were close games, and had we been healthy, would have been different. Bro, Tyler Hero, I know he's considered injury prone, but he hasn't missed as much time as he missed this year. Had Tyler played more games, I think we would have been closer. Had Jimmy took in more games seriously, we would have been closer. That's something that needs to be addressed in the offseason, which we'll talk about another time. But for this year, with all the injuries, with all the crap, with all the lineup changes, with everything that we've gone through, the fact that we're still this close, the fact that we're 9 games above 500, the fact that we have a chance to still get out of the play-in, dude, I think that Miami and Philadelphia are going to be the most dangerous teams in the East this year. I think they're going to be the team. I mean, Philly, you know what you get. It's with Embiid. But Miami, bro, they're still scary. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. I understand that it's been a bad year. We're still scary, bro. Nobody still wants to see us in the 7-game series. I still feel that way.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking, I'm like, outside of those three, it's still Boston that we want to avoid and play in the East Conference Finals. Because again, with the Bucks, we can outplay them. We can outcoach them. With the Sixers, Ernest, tell me on your hand, how many times has Joel Embiid made it to the Eastern Conference Finals in his career? How many times? Exactly.
0.
Exactly. How many times does this guy get hurt? He's getting banged up every game. The last 2 games, he's clutched his knee, his surgically repaired meniscus. And I'm happy that he wasn't hurt because I don't want any of these players to be hurt because it's a better story when you beat teams at full strength. But I remember the last game and the other game, he actually sat out from the knee thing, but he came back luckily. But either way, like injuries, he's always hurt, but also he chokes to a certain degree and doesn't show up in the playoffs. We have Eric Spoelstra, the best tactician, the best strategic coach the
Yep.
best at adjustments. Are you worried about the Pacers? Are you worried about the Knicks? Are you worried about the Cavs? Are you worried about the Magic? Are you worried about any of those teams at all? There's
Not at
still
all.
there's still
Not at all.
even for the eighth seed, there's 4 teams right there that I'm not worried about at all. We can't be delusional. We can't say we're not worried about the Sixers, Bucks, or Celtics at all, right? Those are going to be tough. But outside of Boston, those other 2 series seem winnable for the Miami Heat. I just get stuck with beating the Nuggets, as I assume and I believe the Nuggets are the team to come out of the West, because the Thunder might be still too young. They could shock the world. You never know. I don't think the T-Wolves are good enough to do it. But again, Anthony Edwards has been balling, and they're getting Cat back at the right time. But I feel like it's just tough with the functional size and talent that the Nuggets have for the Heat to beat them. I could be wrong. I want to be wrong. I love this team. I want this team to win. But do I think we're contenders? Yes. Do I think we're favorites? Of course not. I'm sure you don't even think we're favorites, but I think you think there's a higher chance that the Heat can actually win it all. I don't know. I think it might be unlikely. I think it's very unlikely that they can actually win it all, but I want to be wrong. I want Jimmy to win his first championship, and he deserves it. Like, he's given us 4, hopefully 5 amazing, memorable seasons, and all that journey, all that pain of losing 2 finals and him getting hurt last year, which I think was a big factor. It would be so sweet if we can finally win after this shit show of a season that we've had with Jimmy just being Jimmy. So let's end with this last question real quick. Do you think Jimmy is going to be playoff Jimmy? To a certain degree. I don't think he's going to be 100% playoff Jimmy like he was last year, but is he capable of being playoff Jimmy for at least a few games where he can get 35 to 40 points in each series? What are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, look, man, I could be wrong. Last year could have been the year that we should have won it, and we didn't because of the injuries. You know, that's our freaking thing since 2014 when LeBron left. But yeah, I mean, I really believe in this playoffs. I think Jimmy's going to lock down. Why he hasn't shown it during the season, bro, I mean, that could be a whole nother episode, you know, on why Jimmy hasn't done it. Is it laziness? Is it he's focused on other things? Because remember, last year in the playoffs, he became super famous. That's when he became Himmy. All these commercials are coming, the music videos, the sponsorships, the everything that he's getting, bro. Like, he's getting it all. He's getting all the attention. Is it getting to him? We don't know. But how do you continue that attention? Perform. So in the playoffs, he just might be able to do it. Every game, maybe not. That's why he's going to need Tyler Hero and Terry Rozier and Bam Adebayo. These guys need to step up. Jimmy's going to be able to win some games, but they got to win them as well. And then you need your role players to win you games as well. You need Kevin Love to be able to have good games. Jaime Jaquez, Nikola Jovic, Caleb Martin. That's what I'm saying, bro. If this team is healthy, you give me the starting rotation that we currently have with Rozier, Duncan, Jimmy, Jovic, and Bam. You get Love, you get Tyler, you get Jaime Jaquez, Caleb Martin. You give me a 9-man rotation like that. Sprinkle a little Haywood Highsmith and DeLon Wright for defense. Throw some Thomas Bryant out there, a big body that can give you 6 fouls for 10 minutes. Bro, I don't see why not the Miami Heat can win an NBA championship. We just need to be fully healthy. That's it.
That's true. And we saw last night against the Raptors, Caleb Martin, usually good role player, but he has an off night. He has 3 points, but guess who steps up? Jaime Jaquez Jr. with 20 points. Nikola Jovic in the starting lineup, he gives you 22 points. Like, you're right. Those are the guys that can win you games as long as Jimmy and Bam are showing up and not giving us 10-point, 12-point game duds, right? Like they did against the Mavericks. Those games can't happen in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But they need to be our 2 stars, and then Terry and Tyler are like our second-tier stars.
Yeah.
And then the rest is what role player can step up, and we're capable, man. So
exactly, man. Look, we lost Max Strus, we lost Gabe Vincent. We who else do we have from last year in the run? I'm brain farting. Oladipo, yeah, but look what we made up for it. You got Nikola Jovic who stepped up, Jaime Jaquez, You got Terry Rozier instead of Kyle Lowry now. You know, Tyler Hero, if he gives you a fully healthy playoff run. That's what I'm trying to say. The Heat were lacking scoring in the playoffs. With these guys, they may be able to fix it. So Heat fans, I'm excited. Let's get ready to rock and roll because I think we can do it.
We can, and watch Patty Mills give them a 7 3-pointer game off
Oh
of
my God.
one game with that championship experience, right? With his former Spurs culture. It's possible. That's possible. We know Spo's a crazy mad scientist. He's given him some minutes for some reason. Who knows? But anyway, thank you so much, Ernest, for hopping on. This was really fun. So yeah, again, episode 1 is on Ernest's channel. Go check that out. This will be episode 2 on my channel. And then we don't know the cadence yet, but we're going to try to get together at least once every 2 weeks if we can. And so we'll alternate posting on each other's channels.
Yes, sir.
And thank you so much. Go check out Miami Heat Talk. Subscribe to his channel. Subscribe to my channel, Team to Beat Miami Heat. And thank you so much, Ernest.
Man, thanks for having me, brother. And that is enough said. Enjoy your day, guys.